每天练习英语听、说、练，与我们一起提升你的语言技能。完成后，在我们的应用程式里多加练习。免费，连结在下方。开始练习吧。
I worked out this morning. I worked out this morning.
我今天早上运动了。
I worked out this morning. I worked out this morning. I did a quick warm-up. I did a quick warm-up.
我快速热身了一下。
I did a quick warm-up. I did a quick warm-up. I started with a light jog. I started with a light jog.
我先从轻松慢跑开始。
I started with a light jog. I started with a light jog. I stretched my legs and arms. I stretched my legs and arms.
我伸展了腿和手臂。
I stretched my legs and arms. I stretched my legs and arms. I did 10 push-ups. I did 10 push-ups.
我做了10下伏地挺身。
I did 10 push-ups. I did 10 push-ups. I did 15 squats. I did 15 squats.
我做了15下深蹲。
I did 15 squats. I did 15 squats. I held a plank for 30 seconds. I held a plank for 30 seconds.
我平板撑了30秒。
I held a plank for 30 seconds. I held a plank for 30 seconds. I did some jumping jacks. I did some jumping jacks.
我做了一些开合跳。
I did some jumping jacks. I did some jumping jacks. I did lunges on each leg. I did lunges on each leg.
我每边做了弓箭步。
I did lunges on each leg. I did lunges on each leg. I used a yoga mat. I used a yoga mat.
我用了瑜伽垫。
I used a yoga mat. I used a yoga mat. I lifted light dumbbells. I lifted light dumbbells.
我举了轻哑铃。
I lifted light dumbbells. I lifted light dumbbells. I did bicep curls. I did bicep curls.
我做二头弯举。
I did bicep curls. I did bicep curls. I did tricep dips. I did tricep dips.
我做臂屈伸。
I did tricep dips. I did tricep dips. I did shoulder presses. I did shoulder presses.
我做肩推。
I did shoulder presses. I did shoulder presses. I did sit-ups on the mat. I did sit-ups on the mat.
我在垫子上做仰卧起坐。
I did sit-ups on the mat. I did sit-ups on the mat. I did mountain climbers. I did mountain climbers.
我做登山者。
I did mountain climbers. I did mountain climbers. I tried a few burpees. I tried a few burpees.
我试了几个波比跳。
I tried a few burpees. I tried a few burpees. I took a short water break. I took a short water break.
我稍微停下来喝水休息。
I took a short water break. I took a short water break. I focused on my breathing. I focused on my breathing.
我专注在呼吸上。
I focused on my breathing. I focused on my breathing. I kept a steady pace. I kept a steady pace.
我保持稳定的步调。
I kept a steady pace. I kept a steady pace. I listened to my favorite playlist. I listened to my favorite playlist.
我听我最爱的播放清单。
I listened to my favorite playlist. I listened to my favorite playlist. I used a timer on my watch. I used a timer on my watch.
我用手表的计时器。
I used a timer on my watch. I used a timer on my watch. I did 3 sets of each move. I did 3 sets of each move.
我每个动作做3组。
I did 3 sets of each move. I did 3 sets of each move. I took 1 minute of rest. I took 1 minute of rest.
我休息1分钟。
I took 1 minute of rest. I took 1 minute of rest. I felt my heart rate go up. I felt my heart rate go up.
我感觉心跳上来了。
I felt my heart rate go up. I felt my heart rate go up. I broke a good sweat. I broke a good sweat.
我流了不少汗。
I broke a good sweat. I broke a good sweat. I stayed hydrated. I stayed hydrated.
我有补充水分。
I stayed hydrated. I stayed hydrated. I cooled down at the end. I cooled down at the end.
最后我有做冷身。
I cooled down at the end. I cooled down at the end. I stretched my back and hips. I stretched my back and hips.
我伸展了背部和髋部。
I stretched my back and hips. I stretched my back and hips. I felt strong and calm. I felt strong and calm.
我觉得既强壮又平静。
I felt strong and calm. I felt strong and calm. I tracked my workout in an app. I tracked my workout in an app.
我用 App 记录我的训练。
I tracked my workout in an app. I tracked my workout in an app. I ran on the treadmill. I ran on the treadmill.
我在跑步机上跑步。
I ran on the treadmill. I ran on the treadmill. I walked to cool down. I walked to cool down.
我走路当冷身。
I walked to cool down. I walked to cool down. I rode the stationary bike. I rode the stationary bike.
我骑健身车。
I rode the stationary bike. I rode the stationary bike. I used the rowing machine. I used the rowing machine.
我用划船机。
I used the rowing machine. I used the rowing machine. I tried the elliptical. I tried the elliptical.
我试了椭圆机。
I tried the elliptical. I tried the elliptical. I climbed the stairs machine. I climbed the stairs machine.
我在登阶机上爬阶。
I climbed the stairs machine. I climbed the stairs machine. I did a short hit session. I did a short hit session.
我做了一段短的高强度间歇训练。
I did a short hit session. I did a short hit session. I did 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off. I did 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off.
我做20秒，休10秒。
I did 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off. I did 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off. I finished in 30 minutes. I finished in 30 minutes.
我在30分钟内结束。
I finished in 30 minutes. I finished in 30 minutes. I worked out after work. I worked out after work.
我下班后去运动。
I worked out after work. I worked out after work. I worked out at home. I worked out at home.
我在家运动。
I worked out at home. I worked out at home. I worked out at the gym. I worked out at the gym.
我在健身房运动。
I worked out at the gym. I worked out at the gym. I worked out in the park. I worked out in the park.
我在公园运动。
I worked out in the park. I worked out in the park. I worked out with Mia. I worked out with Mia.
我和 Mia 一起运动。
I worked out with Mia. I worked out with Mia. Mia showed me a new stretch. Mia showed me a new stretch.
Mia 教我一个新的伸展动作。
Mia showed me a new stretch. Mia showed me a new stretch. I trained with Jake today. I trained with Jake today.
我今天和 Jake 一起训练。
I trained with Jake today. I trained with Jake today. Jake counted my reps. Jake counted my reps.
Jake 帮我数次数。
Jake counted my reps. Jake counted my reps. I joined a yoga class with Lily. I joined a yoga class with Lily.
我和 Lily 一起上瑜伽课。
I joined a yoga class with Lily. I joined a yoga class with Lily. Lily helped me with a pose. Lily helped me with a pose.
Lily 帮我调整一个动作。
Lily helped me with a pose. Lily helped me with a pose. I went to spin class with Omar. I went to spin class with Omar.
我跟 Omar 去上飞轮课。
I went to spin class with Omar. I went to spin class with Omar. Omar cheered me on. Omar cheered me on.
Omar 帮我加油。
Omar cheered me on. Omar cheered me on. I met Nina at the track. I met Nina at the track.
我在跑道上和 Nina 碰面。
I met Nina at the track. I met Nina at the track. Nina paced me on my run. Nina paced me on my run.
Nina 帮我跑步配速。
Nina paced me on my run. Nina paced me on my run. I swam laps with Ben. I swam laps with Ben.
我和 Ben 一起游来回。
I swam laps with Ben. I swam laps with Ben. Ben timed my sprints. Ben timed my sprints.
Ben 帮我计时冲刺。
Ben timed my sprints. Ben timed my sprints. I boxed with Carlos. I boxed with Carlos.
我跟 Carlos 打拳击。
I boxed with Carlos. I boxed with Carlos. Carlos held the pads. Carlos held the pads.
Carlos 帮我拿拳把。
Carlos held the pads. Carlos held the pads. I did Pilates with Zoe. I did Pilates with Zoe.
我跟 Zoe 上皮拉提斯。
I did Pilates with Zoe. I did Pilates with Zoe. Zoe corrected my form. Zoe corrected my form.
Zoe 帮我修正动作。
Zoe corrected my form. Zoe corrected my form. I practiced balance on one leg. I practiced balance on one leg.
我练单脚平衡。
I practiced balance on one leg. I practiced balance on one leg. I worked on my core. I worked on my core.
我练核心。
I worked on my core. I worked on my core. I did side planks. I did side planks.
我做侧棒式。
I did side planks. I did side planks. I did Russian twists. I did Russian twists.
我做俄罗斯转体。
I did Russian twists. I did Russian twists. I tried a kettlebell swing. I tried a kettlebell swing.
我试了壶铃摆荡。
I tried a kettlebell swing. I tried a kettlebell swing. I did goblet squats. I did goblet squats.
我做杯式深蹲。
I did goblet squats. I did goblet squats. I did calf raises. I did calf raises.
我做体踵。
I did calf raises. I did calf raises. I used resistance bands. I used resistance bands.
我用了弹力带。
I used resistance bands. I used resistance bands. I did rows with a band. I did rows with a band.
我做弹力带划船。
I did rows with a band. I did rows with a band. I did glute bridges. I did glute bridges.
我做臀桥。
I did glute bridges. I did glute bridges. I did hip thrusts. I did hip thrusts.
我做髋推。
I did hip thrusts. I did hip thrusts. I did leg raises. I did leg raises.
我做抬腿。
I did leg raises. I did leg raises. I practiced jump rope. I practiced jump rope.
我练跳绳。
I practiced jump rope. I practiced jump rope. I did light stretches between sets. I did light stretches between sets.
我在组间做了轻松的伸展。
I did light stretches between sets. I did light stretches between sets. I focused on proper form. I focused on proper form.
我专注在正确动作。
I focused on proper form. I focused on proper form. I slowed down to stay safe. I slowed down to stay safe.
我放慢速度以确保安全。
I slowed down to stay safe. I slowed down to stay safe. I added a little weight. I added a little weight.
我加了一点重量。
I added a little weight. I added a little weight. I did more reps than yesterday. I did more reps than yesterday.
我做的次数比昨天多。
I did more reps than yesterday. I did more reps than yesterday. I ran a little farther. I ran a little farther.
我跑得更远一点。
I ran a little farther. I ran a little farther. I ran a little faster. I ran a little faster.
我跑得更快一点。
I ran a little faster. I ran a little faster. I set a new goal. I set a new goal.
我设定了新目标。
I set a new goal. I set a new goal. I plan to train 3 days a week. I plan to train 3 days a week.
我计划每周训练3天。
I plan to train 3 days a week. I plan to train 3 days a week. I want to build muscle. I want to build muscle.
我想增肌。
I want to build muscle. I want to build muscle. I want to lose some fat. I want to lose some fat.
我想减一点脂肪。
I want to lose some fat. I want to lose some fat. I want to get stronger. I want to get stronger.
我想变得更强壮。
I want to get stronger. I want to get stronger. I want better flexibility. I want better flexibility.
我想提升柔软度。
I want better flexibility. I want better flexibility. I want better cardio. I want better cardio.
我想提升心肺耐力。
I want better cardio. I want better cardio. I woke up early to train. I woke up early to train.
我为了训练早起。
I woke up early to train. I woke up early to train. I ate a banana before my workout. I ate a banana before my workout.
我运动前吃了一根香蕉。
I ate a banana before my workout. I ate a banana before my workout. I drank a protein shake after. I drank a protein shake after.
我运动后喝了蛋白奶昔。
I drank a protein shake after. I drank a protein shake after. I packed my gym bag. I packed my gym bag.
我收好我的运动包。
I packed my gym bag. I packed my gym bag. I wore my running shoes. I wore my running shoes.
我穿上跑鞋。
I wore my running shoes. I wore my running shoes. I wore my heart rate watch. I wore my heart rate watch.
我戴上心率表。
I wore my heart rate watch. I wore my heart rate watch. I felt tired but happy. I felt tired but happy.
我觉得累但很开心。
I felt tired but happy. I felt tired but happy. I felt sore in a good way. I felt sore in a good way.
我觉得酸得很舒服。
I felt sore in a good way. I felt sore in a good way. I felt proud of my effort. I felt proud of my effort.
我为自己的努力感到骄傲。
I felt proud of my effort. I felt proud of my effort. I kept my back straight. I kept my back straight.
我保持背部打直。
I kept my back straight. I kept my back straight. I braced my core. I braced my core.
我把核心收紧。
I braced my core. I braced my core. I did slow, controlled reps. I did slow, controlled reps.
我做慢而可控的动作。
I did slow, controlled reps. I did slow, controlled reps. I breathed out on the lift. I breathed out on the lift.
我用力时吐气。
I breathed out on the lift. I breathed out on the lift. I counted my reps out loud. I counted my reps out loud.
我大声数次数。
I counted my reps out loud. I counted my reps out loud. I wrote my sets in a notebook. I wrote my sets in a notebook.
我把组数写在笔记本里。
I wrote my sets in a notebook. I wrote my sets in a notebook. I asked Emma for tips. I asked Emma for tips.
我向 Emma 询问建议。
I asked Emma for tips. I asked Emma for tips. Emma fixed my squat stance. Emma fixed my squat stance.
Emma 帮我调整深蹲站姿。
Emma fixed my squat stance. Emma fixed my squat stance. I trained with Ethan on Monday. I trained with Ethan on Monday.
我礼拜一和 Ethan 一起训练。
I trained with Ethan on Monday. I trained with Ethan on Monday. Ethan spotted my bench press. Ethan spotted my bench press.
Ethan 帮我卧推做保护。
Ethan spotted my bench press. Ethan spotted my bench press. I met Sophia for a trail run. I met Sophia for a trail run.
我和 Sophia 约去跑越野。
I met Sophia for a trail run. I met Sophia for a trail run. Sophia brought extra water. Sophia brought extra water.
Sophia 多带了水。
Sophia brought extra water. Sophia brought extra water. I lifted with Lucas after lunch. I lifted with Lucas after lunch.
我午餐后和 Lucas 一起重训。
I lifted with Lucas after lunch. I lifted with Lucas after lunch. Lucas shared the rack. Lucas shared the rack.
Lucas 和我共用杠架。
Lucas shared the rack. Lucas shared the rack.
感谢观看，订阅我们的频道并开启通知，及时获取新视频，持续你的英语学习之旅。